So last time we came out here to Salzwiesen Park multiplayer, we finally got our rare tufted duck Drake, and now I want to try to get an all rare duck out multi-mount. There's 7 species, and I believe we have 3 that aren't rares right now. It's Eurasian teal, and the 2 new ones, Flinter duck and Gadwall. So all 3 of those are available on Salzwiesen Park, and I really like this kind of system we have. Just hunt around, go for red fox, raccoon dogs, common raccoons, whatever we stumble into, work our way into waterfowl territory, and pretty much keep our eyes in the sky and see if any rares fly over us. So, it's raccoon dog drink time in the server, and for once I actually remembered that, and we're gonna have some opportunity to hunt them. Got a level 5 out here, also a kinda smallish black grouse. So here's the thing with black grouse. There's a rare melanistic variant that, weirdly enough, it almost looks leucistic or piebald. There's actually a bunch of white feathers, and in the distance, something about the way their feathers kind of show up makes it look like they're that. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but better actually get it. And we'll go ahead and drop that level 5 raccoon dog as well. By the way, we're just working up into this area, really good waterfowl territory. I think this is where we shot the rare leucistic Eurasian teal hen in the last hunt. So, seems to be a good area to check for all the species that we're after today, and there's other stuff around too. So with this guy, very much a common. The Melanistics have like white sort of flecks of feathers down the chest and stuff, so that's a good thing to look for. 109 score is pretty much the top of the estimate. And a pretty good look. This area is a good spot to start. No teal yet. We did have those Flinter ducks, and there's a fair number of rares for them, so we definitely want to keep our eyes up. Gonna go ahead and grab this guy before we go anywhere. That's a little 6.7 silver. And I think we're going to start to sort of slow it down so we can try to spot all these. So at least, best I can tell, nothing out of the ordinary here. There's a decent tufted duck Drake there that will probably go ahead and get us right about 200. So that's going to bring him down. Be a little sort of detour to go and get him. But I like to kind of get things going that way. Just slowly pan through everything, make sure we're not missing anything. I think it just sort of almost preps our eyes in a way for looking for those differences, and frankly, the more commons we look at today, the more any little difference might stand out. I mean, look at that. I'm really not totally convinced that we saw every one of these. These were all the ones... Hold on a minute. These were all the ones that were landed here. Are you normal? I think so. The reason I spotted that one beside it, by the way, is to get the spotting outline off. It just helps to really try to focus on, any of the details. Fairly sure that was common, though not 100% certain. 892 Drake for that, and away we go. Now the thing with the teal, there are some rares that have pretty, minute differences from a common. These all look normal, but what we were doing earlier, really looking close at, all the ducks, I think that's going to be absolutely necessary, at least depending on the rare. If it ends up being a leucistic, or I don't know if there are piebald Eurasian teal, there's definitely piebald green-winged teal. Albinos, those are very obvious. When it comes to, some of the more subtle differences, I think we really got to try to look at every single Drake. Now, we need a Drake for the multi-mount. We obviously have the leucistic hen that I referenced earlier, but we really need to look close. There's a mallard-looking hybrid that's got an all-green head. That one might be a little more obvious at a distance, but some of the other ones with the different colorations, you have to know almost what you're looking for, or just recognize the difference. So there's a light green. I think this other one that we shot was a dark green. Also, that was really laggy claiming that, so that's not super encouraging, but let's run over here and take a peek at this one. This was dark green indeed, 348 gold actually. That's 6 off a diamond, so he wasn't bad. Barely hit him, but we'll take that. You have got to be kidding me. I'm certain that's a melanistic Gadwall, but it's a hen. That's a normal Gadwall hen. That one's obviously different. It's right about 200 meters, so I think we can just get it. Let's make sure that one doesn't swim in front of it. That's going to take that out. We have not had any of the new duck species rares, and of course, it ends up being a hen, but that is pretty cool. And, something that I've kind of come to realize in this quest to get rare waterfowl and stuff, I don't think some of those insane rares, let's say our hybrid goldeneye, are insanely rare in the sense of there's almost none ever that are spawning or whatever. I think it's more that most of the time we're not hunting waterfowl, or they're just hard to identify unless you're doing this, spotting them on the water. Every time we come out here, we get rare birds, and here lays another one. That sure looks melanistic, and it is. Pretty darn cool, a silver melanistic Gadwall hen. Ended up with an intestine chop at 200 meters, we will take that. Really cool too, like the different colorations in the feathers and stuff. But I find that interesting. You can absolutely fill your lodge full of like all kinds of awesome rare birds. You just gotta know what you're looking for, look for those differences, and spend the time to look. Now, it was getting a little late in that last server, so we've joined another one now, and this does not mean by any stretch we're done waterfowl hunting. Pretty much. Did we miss the vitals? I felt pretty good about that shot. Pretty much. We're gonna just like start to work our way up into like this area. We never got there on the last server, at least to any significant degree. And what I definitely want to do before we're done here is place our Eurasian teal decoys and try to get several flocks to come in and really try to identify as many as we can. That's not something we've done too much of, and really anytime we have, not to any success. Like, we went to Reventuli for tufted duck. We would place tufted duck decoys, spot all the tufties, no rares. What seems to work really good, legit, is just covering ground and spotting the ones that go by. But with these teal, it's not going to be like that leucistic tufted duck that we spotted at 300 meters. There's no way. Like, some of those rares just aren't obvious enough. Now, that looks a little bit different. It's, of course, a hen. Tell you what, that guy's awfully light colored too, but that's just a light green. At least I'm pretty sure. The hen, though, I'm fairly sure that's another leucistic, because I want to say that's like the one we got in the last hunt. Just about shot the bodyguard instead, but since they're sitting there, just gonna plink that drake as well. It's so easy, by the way, to like only hunt this. Like, I really do want to spend more time with foxes and raccoons and raccoon dogs, because there's some potentially really cool trophies there too, but we get so caught up in chasing waterfowl, and as I said before, if you're really paying attention, those rares are out there. By the way, rather convenient. This is like deep enough the ducks are floating, but shallow enough we can run through it. Oh, that's actually not a leucistic, that's just a brown. Alright, well, if you're paying attention enough, those rares are out there, but sometimes the lighting does matter. That'd be really similar to the leucistic. As for this, light green 345 and an actual four-legged creature over there. It's a level 1 female raccoon, but looks like there's a bunch. And somehow none of them are at all interesting, so we'll probably get the raccoon dog there. Just because we can do that with the follow-up shot. And this seems to be a good area for Eurasian teal. Like, there's some Wigeon flying over right now, but not as many species up here. Maybe this is where we can place a bunch of decoys, and actually 2. If we place them over on that opposite shore and then kind of come sit over here, should be a good sort of vantage point. Tell you what, I think that's something. Like, that's a really odd estimate. I also think maybe they spooked, so we're gonna have to try to get them. But I've never seen a teal with an estimate up into the 360s. It's either an awesome level 2 potential diamond, or maybe some sort of rare, and I just can't tell. It looks normal enough. That is a 353.7 when diamond's 354, so just a nice one. But that's another thing to kind of pay attention to, is those score estimates. So many rares score top of the estimate, bottom of the estimate, and you can get weird estimates for the level. Any opportunity we have to, try to pick out one that might be something, we'll take it. 0 for 2 on teal so far, but that's close to being a diamond anyway. Well, wrong species, but there's a level 3 Wigeon. That's only the second one of those I've ever seen. There are 2 ways to play this, and they are completely different. Either fling a bunch of shots at it, which I don't love, like the teal was flying straight away, that's one thing. This, at an angle like that, the odds we get that right are just not good. So, ooh, there may be a Wigeon zone out there or something. Now, he's not really turning or anything, but some of them were acting like maybe they were going to go and land. They're still kind of just going and doing their thing. There we go. I think we may have made the right call, because I think they're going to go out there and just plop down. And so long as we can keep an eye on them. Great estimate, by the way. Diamond's 905, if I recall correctly. 950's max score. All that is in play. They're still not actually landing, though. That's the only Only thing here, they're doing, oh, they're out of render, doing a bunch of stuff. Where were they? We also gotta be careful we're not running into other people, but the spotting outline thing's not there. Okay, so we put out decoys, and there's our level 3. It is, do they care? I think they do. Yeah, this time I'm fairly sure they're gonna land. Now, I guess we'll try to go shotgun, because we made it this far, and of course they're flying over right as we're at the decoys. They should try to land from that direction towards us. Probably not this circle, maybe one more. Just gotta hope nothing happens that spooks them. Should be pretty doable, just gotta sit here and kind of hope for the best. And remember, one member of the flock spooks, they're all gonna spook. That doesn't mean this flock that just landed was with them. I don't think that had anything to do with it. They may very well be landing now. Looks like they're going to, so let's get the shotgun ready. Really trying to keep an eye on the right bird. It's that lowest one there. And as they come in, that was a little laggy. That got him. Jesus, laggy. There's another person near us, and that'll typically happen when you've got two people in the same area, like the animals will sort of desync. But, more importantly, our second level 3 Eurasian Wigeon ever is going to be actually a smallish diamond, 919.45. I was hoping he may be a little bit bigger, but we got him with the shotgun out of the air. That is pretty darn cool. Melanistic Gadwall hen and diamond Eurasian Wigeon today. And I honestly think on that note, no rare teal for our multi-mount, but we're going to take that back to the trophy lodge. Now, as far as what to do with them, I think the very first obvious answer is take down our leucistic Wigeon hen. By the way, you do see the difference between that brown one that we shot and this one. This is just a little lighter colored. I think the Melanistic Gadwall hen is going to look way cooler there. That, I can't believe we got that. So that's one of the ones that I knew was like a potential. But I never thought of it as getting a hen. I always just thought of getting a Melanistic Drake. They look really good, and I certainly wouldn't mind adding a Mela Drake to this multi-mount right here. Now, as for what to do with the Diamond Wigeon, that's going to take a little more thought. Go around and maybe look at some of the birds that we have placed. Like, there's a decent teal there. That's barely diamond, though. Eh, what the heck. Sort of fits with the theme. All the other species around here are some of these waterfowl. So, our second ever Diamond Wigeon, it comes from Salzwiesen Park. They originated on Reventuli Coast. They're on 2 other maps now. Those are the 2 maps we've had them on. One on Virunga Savannah, one on Salzwiesen. This one, I think, is our best at 919. The other one used to be, yeah, it's right back here. Oh, 930. Never mind, that is not our biggest. Second Wigeon, second biggest, but we will take it. Man, it's so much fun to run around and chase waterfowl. Like I said, I want to try, at least, to do a little better chasing the other species, raccoon dogs, common raccoons, red foxes, but it's so tough. When you're finding some of the cool things that we've added to these multi-mounts, such as our tufted duck up there, it's really easy to just focus in on them. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.